this is Peter from Flashpoint 726. I haven't posted a video in about probably 6 months since the great sign that was in Revelation 12. I think a lot of us were looking for the rapture, and the week before, my family was thrown into a pretty big crisis, still kind of going on. So I haven't really been able to do much study or make videos or anything like that. But I have been having a lot of dreams, and so the last month or so, I just kind of felt like I needed to start documenting them, and I figured one way to hold myself accountable was to use my channel to do that. And part of my intent of doing this, well, other than holding myself accountable, is hopefully that there's someone out there that can help interpret. I'll take any interpretation, but I'm looking more from a Christian perspective, just so that you all know. But I know that revelation can be given, to anybody, so I don't want to stop anyone from providing any insight they have into my dreams. But I think my dreams, I've had, I have them almost every night now, and the challenge is getting up and writing them down and documenting them. I've started to commit to doing that 15 minutes a morning, but sometimes I just get distracted, and if I don't write something down within 30 minutes, it's almost completely gone from my memory unless it was very impactful. So yeah, I don't know where all this will go, because I don't really know in any given night what my dreams are going to be. But yeah, so hopefully the fragments that I'll put down here, sometimes they stand alone, and sometimes they're just kind of fragments, like where did that come from? But I'm hoping to stitch them all together over time, and hopefully there'll be a few people out there that can track and help me to synthesize what's kind of going on. If it's prophetic, if it's something, a message that is being delivered for me for my own life and my own refinement. So I appreciate anyone who jumps on this channel and tracks with me. So I just wanted to start off with the dream that I had last night. It's the one that's freshest on my mind. At some point, I'll try to go back to some of the ones that I have written down and kind of go back in time. But I figure I'll start from the present and start from there. So last night, I had a dream like I was in some kind of city. It felt kind of gray, kind of drab. It wasn't like dark, but it just kind of felt gloomy, if you will. But I was in a workshop. It seemed like either I owned it or a group of close friends owned it. Wasn't quite sure, but it seemed like we were doing something, in kind of some kind of craft. I couldn't really tell what it was, but while I was working in the workshop, somehow we got word that someone out on the countryside had wanted us to deliver this valuable possession. I wasn't quite sure if we had built it ourselves, but we had it, and it was almost kind of like an authority figure that had requested this, and no one really wanted to do it. So what happened was we just kind of went on our business, and then this large giant showed up. I mean, this guy was probably 20 feet tall, very broad. He looked like he was very well disciplined in terms, like, he wasn't like there to smash stuff or anything like that. It looked like he was like a soldier, very disciplined. his bearing was, he had a solid bearing, like in terms of just like a soldier, and he asked for the person who was going to deliver this item, because he was, I guess it seemed like he was going to escort them out to the countryside. And so I don't know what the process was in determining who was going to do it, but it fell to me. I was trying to get out of it. I was like, I don't want to go with this guy. This guy's huge. He's very broad-shouldered. You know, his arms were probably like as thick as my body, and I'm not a small guy. And he was just a very powerful being. And so, so it fell to me, and I guess I accepted it, and the giant escorted me into the workshop. So I guess part I didn't describe was like there was a huge workshop, and then there was a living area adjacent to it. So it seemed like we were living kind of in a communal fashion. So I was holed up in the workshop for the night, and so this is kind of where it kind of gets a little disconnected. But as I was in the garage, I was looking for a way to, like, you know, is there another way to get this item out there other than having to be escorted by this really large giant? He was very calm and passive. I mean, he wasn't, but it's just his mere size that just kind of intimidated me. Anyways, I was able to convince the giant, I think, to let me go outside and see if I could take a bus to this location. And I went out to the bus stop, and it was kind of like metropolis type of setting, nondescript, maybe slightly poor side of town. But anyways, I got to the bus stop, and I saw that it went to where we needed to go. So I went back to the workshop and told the giant this, like, hey, I can take this bus out there. And then he was like, well, when does it leave? I was like, oh, I didn't get a schedule. And so I went out there, and the second time I went out, I drove my car. It was like, for some reason, it was a 1980s, like, Oldsmobile, really old car for my, you know, not one I had in my childhood, but, you know, a car I would remember from my childhood. So I went up to the bus stop and kind of parked on the sidewalk in front of the bus stop sign, and I had like schedules posted in like in a little clear plastic like a plastic holder or whatever. I don't know how to describe it. So I just grabbed one, pulled one out, and said, "Oh man, there's one leaving soon." And so when I pulled up, there was a group of people waiting for a bus, and they got upset, and, you know, it felt like I was going to get the police called on me or something. Then an older lady, not very old, but, you know, probably in her 50s, came up to me and said, hey, you know, you should move that car. I'm like, I need to take this bus. I just need to, you know, get the schedule. And she seemed very suspicious at first, but then eventually gained her trust and kind of explained what I was doing. And while I was doing that, the bus pulled up, and it was the bus that was going to where I needed to go. And I'm like, oh, cool, I can go right now. So I hopped on the bus, and as we were pulling away, I saw my car still parked on the sidewalk. And I was like, no, I can't do this. And I demanded the driver stop and pull over, and so I can get into the car. And so I was able to get the bus stopped. I went out, and I suppose I got into the car, but that's kind of where the dream ended. I woke up kind of feeling like I missed an opportunity, and so I don't know. One fragment of a dream. You know, I've got several dreams I think I have continuously that are kind of like continuations of things. So hopefully this will continue on at a later point. But yeah, thanks for listening. And if you have any interpretation at this point, that'd be great. I'd love to hear what you think of it in the comments below. Again, I don't expect this channel to be huge or anything, but just looking for, you know, just a few individuals that kind of like, hearing other people's dreams, and hopefully there'll be someone who has the gift of interpretation. Just like Joseph, when he was in prison in Egypt, he was able to interpret dreams and tell everyone what they meant. And I figure God's given me all these dreams like every single night for a reason, and I just feel like I'm squandering what He's giving me. Even if I can't interpret it, I figure I need to at least write it down and ponder what's trying to be spoken to my heart and maybe spoken to other people's hearts. So thank you for listening, and I hope this has blessed you or will bless you at some point. And have a blessed day. God bless.